We are here at CPAC speaking with Jackie Walorski, who's running for Congress for Indiana's 2nd Congressional
Correct.
District. This is your second time at bat for Indiana 02. You just narrowly lost in 2010. Tell us a little bit about that election.
That was a wild race. It was a national bellwether, and it was kind of an amazing thing to see. I guess we saw firsthand, like a lot of people did, the power of 527s on both sides, 503s, 504s. You know, money come from all over the country. And one of the things we brought into that race that we're bringing in again, but even larger, is we have a large thousands of people in a grassroots organization, and we're kind of known in the state of Indiana as having this mega power of people. And so we took our troops to the streets, and we're taking our troops to the streets again. And in fact, it's very interesting that 2 years ago the issues were brand new. Obamacare was brand new. The individual mandate was brand new. Many of this lack of jobs and massive spending and debt was all brand new. This race, we got into this race in the middle of last year, and it's interesting. The American people are so much more in tune to what's going on, and they're coming to the table. They've got their ears on. We have even more volunteers. We raised well over $500,000 coming into 2012 here, just in the off year. And even though the issues aren't new, these issues now that we're actually seeing the truth about what Obamacare really is going to cost, it really will bankrupt the country. It really will completely take healthcare apart. The debt has only gone up. The spending has only increased, and the jobs have not increased. And now the American people are looking at this federal government, and they're kind of looking at it as one big group saying, you can fool me once, but you're not going to fool me twice. And so it's been incredibly, we've done incredibly well in the past 6-8 months in building the team and getting our message out, which is repeal Obamacare, stop spending, and get this thing back under control.
Jackie, do you think that the issue over the contraception mandate over the last week or so is going to help your case in Indiana 02? I'm not sure exactly what Indiana 02 looks like. Is it a lot of churches, a lot of faith-based voters
extremely
out there?
conservative, and a lot of conservative Catholics in the South Bend area that are Democrats, and so it's a real mixed bag, but very conservative. But keep in mind, this issue with Obama and the contraception issue is not a women's issue. It's an issue of religious expression and freedom and liberty, and I think it's the most egregious overreach I've seen of all the federal government Obama-engineered overreaches. They overreached with Obamacare. They way overreached with EPA regulations that are killing jobs in Indiana. And now this is the most egregious overreach, going into the individual faith of a person, into an institution, and basically saying to them, the government is now going to mandate, the government is going to dictate. That is absolutely off the chart for Americans. That's why I think I find it interesting today that he's offering, now that he sees his base coming after him with pitchforks, now he's offering an accommodation. Kind of interesting.
Have you seen the accommodation?
I've not. I just heard about it. I have not had a chance to see it. It had something to do with insurance companies.
The accommodation is this. They're still required to provide insurance policies that will cover contraception, including abortifacients, the whole thing. But now the insurance company has to pay for it, and not
now a private company has to pay and carry out the president's wishes. Another egregious violation.
Well, there's two violations here. One is the fact that they have to pay for it, because that's simply a shell game. You know, and I know that insurance companies get money from premiums from the risk pool. But the second is that they're basically forcing religious organizations like the University of Notre Dame, which I believe is in your district.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
University of Notre Dame now has to provide access to products and services that their religion finds morally repugnant.
Well, let me just tell you this. If they don't repeal this thing as we go along, and I am elected, I will absolutely be on the bandwagon to repeal it, because it's not about women's rights. This is an egregious overreach. It's an absolute annihilation of religious freedom and liberty in this country. And I don't think people, I even question if he does repeal this, or if we do it in Congress next year, will anybody really trust him again in the areas of faith? He promised that he would never do this to a religious institution. In our own area of South Bend, where the University of Notre Dame is, we had a large point of view written in our local newspaper from the Bishop of South Bend and Fort Wayne, Indiana, basically saying the same thing. This is the annihilation of religious liberty and expression. That is not what America is about, and this president doesn't have any more power than any other president, and he's overreaching. So I will lead the repeal if I'm there, if they don't repeal it beforehand.
Speaking about, you're running against, you're going to have to remind me, your opponent, who's a non-entity in this current Congress, is?
Brendan Mullen is his name.
Yes.
I've not met him. I've never seen him. So.
Has anybody heard from him?
I think he sends out fundraising letters maybe, and raises money. But on his finance report, most of his money was coming from labor PACs in DC, and it's kind of interesting. And I'm proud of this. That's what I want to tell you. Over 90% of our money is coming from the 2nd District, and we have raised $580,000. We have something like almost $450,000 in cash on hand going into this race. This guy is raising 15% in the district and 85% outside, with a lot of it coming from the Beltway. I've never seen anything like that. Because even the opponents that we ran against last year, Joe Donnelly, Joe and I were toe-to-toe on fundraising. And we were $1 million behind when we came in because he was an incumbent, and we quickly caught up and raised 1.4 in 10 months. We are aggressive fundraisers, and our donor base is nearly 5,000 people.
Jackie, where can people go to find your positions and help you out with your
We would love them to go to www.standwithjackie.com.
Standwithjackie.com.
Stand with Jackie, just Jackie, the good old-fashioned way to spell it. Standwithjackie.com. Tons of information there. We'd love for folks to engage with us and chat with us. It'd be great.
Jackie Walorski, thank you for visiting.
Thank you. I appreciate it.